Hey, Mayor, can resist or resign.
Unconstitutional!
Quit your job! This isn't helping anyone!
These young guys, all of them are carrying. They ready at all times.
If it gets out of hand, you got to do everything you can to bring back law and order.
Only thing they're doing is making people more distrusting of the military, more distrusting of our policing, and more distrusting of our government.
Washington, D.C., America's headquarters, the city under a National Guard takeover after a Doge staffer named Big Balls was ripped from his car and beat up by a group of teenagers just a few miles from the White House. Trump was pissed.
A young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C.
So we sent in the big guns to clean up D.C. Come with us in this video as we go through every ward in Washington, D.C., far away from the monuments and the tourist sites, to ask the people what has changed, if anything has changed at all. Right now we are in Northeast Washington, D.C., which has some of the highest crime rates in the city. But you don't see the National Guard, you know, anywhere around here. What's going on, buddy? We're making a video. What are you doing? You know, in this part of DC, you'll see things like abandoned houses. But you notice, you look around, and we've been driving everywhere, and there's no National Guards anywhere. Washington, D.C. has been one of the fastest gentrifying cities in the country, and they've put up tens of thousands of new apartment buildings throughout the city that look exactly like this. What do we got over here?
Oh, we have hot dogs and hamburgers.
We're making a video about Washington, D.C. and visiting all the different neighborhoods.
Oh,
So this was cool to see.
that is so nice. Yeah, I just came out of a shelter. So Trump laid me off, so he snatched our contract. So this is my job.
Oh, wow.
I decided to be creative here and, you know, see what I could do to keep my car and to raise my spirit and, you know, keep going forward. You know.
We just want to make a video going to like all the different neighborhoods of DC to show people like, you know, what's really going on with all the stuff in the National Guard.
I haven't seen that.
We haven't seen them either.
I haven't seen
We're like,
anything,
where are they?
especially around here. And in the news this morning, it was talking about how the people was commenting that it's like they're scared to go into the really bad neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Like Anacostia. These neighborhoods are challenging. These young guys, all of them are carrying. They ready at all times. And that's the kind of sad part about it.
Sure. You think it's gotten better or gotten worse over the years?
Oh, it got worse.
It got worse?
Oh, it got worse, yeah. Because these young folks have no feelings for whatsoever. They don't care. They don't respect the seniors. They just don't care. They don't care. They don't care because they didn't have that type of guidance.
We are in Georgetown. This is the richest part of Washington, D.C. It is the oldest part of Washington, D.C. So we're here right now to speak with the Georgetown elite about the takeover and what's been going on. This part of the city is pretty isolated from the rest of Washington, D.C. There's no metro system that runs here, so it's pretty contained to this neighborhood. You see on the other side right behind me is Arlington, Virginia.
We are in Virginia, right? DC. My bad. I'm not from here, so I don't know about too much about the city, but yeah, we in DC.
So as a tourist, what have you noticed about Washington, D.C. with everything that's been in the news?
Nothing too much out of ordinary. Everyone looks, pretty much normal. Yeah, I've noticed. Yeah.
You got a message for the people?
Stay positive and trust in God.
Georgetown has some of the most expensive properties in the city. All of the homes in this neighborhood are worth millions of dollars. It's like this one right here, where I am most likely going to be ripped off these steps by the National Guard at any moment. Pastel colored houses, perfect for Instagram. It is definitely a neighborhood of choice if you make it big, in the government and they're meeting in back rooms and cutting deals. That will happen in a neighborhood like Georgetown. Throughout Georgetown, there have been a bunch of flyers put up, putting the president of Georgetown University on blast for bending the knee to Trump and ICE, and the people in Georgetown are speaking up about it. Georgetown is also home to Georgetown University, arguably the best school in Washington, D.C., has one of the best law schools in the country. It has produced 2 presidents. Georgetown, we're in the way. We're trying to get this shot. It has produced over 100 members of Congress and 25 governors. It is a high place where people go to study law and do government. And we can see here at Georgetown that ICE has been very active setting up anti-Guatemalan defense barriers. So we have been walking around Georgetown now for about an hour and a half. It has been very difficult to speak with people. A few of the students told us off camera that it's because this is a very institutional university. You have a lot of ambitious people who are looking to make careers in the government, in the state. And so they are very hesitant to share any of their opinions on camera. And we're also told by a few students off camera that this is not really a place of protest. It is very institutional. And so while you do have a lot of politically minded and educated around here, these aren't necessarily the people that are on the front lines of the protests that are going on in Washington, D.C. Walking around Georgetown for about 7 hours today, and this is the first time that we've seen some federal agents around here. This one's interesting because we got the DEA out here, apparently looking to make some drug busts here in Georgetown, trying to find those rich kids at Georgetown doing coke. Look at these federal agents just having a nice, romantic Friday night walk. Maybe they're gonna kiss.
It's just unsettling. Like it's unnatural. It's not like the spirit of DC. It's they're not doing anything, at least from what I've seen. It's just uncomfortable. You feel like you're being surveilled more than usual.
Today is kind of the first day I've seen several members of the National Guard, DEA. I just see them like casually strolling, almost like sightseeing. And I think it's wrong. I think there's a better way to make a city safe. And it's addressing problems at their core and not just attacking random people in the street.
Just took a little stop at the Anacostia River, which divides most of Southeast DC from the rest of the downtown, where most people are familiar with the monuments, the National Mall. Most of the tourists, they never come out to this part of DC. You can see in the distance right there, that was the old Redskins Stadium. They were called the Redskins when they used to play there. Now they are the Commanders. And we are here at the Anacostia Skating Pavilion. It is a place for people to shred, to have fun, to get off the streets. And Washington, D.C. actually has some of the most highest numbers of recreation centers of anywhere else in the country, because the federal government lives here, but also because of Mayor Barry, who also enjoyed some recreational activities himself. Which ones? You'll have to look it up. So there are a ton of opportunities for people to do things other than crime. You can see the mural right there. You got Chuck Brown on the left, who was the inventor of go-go music, a musical style that's only in DC, really. All the kids getting off of school, but there's no National Guard, there's just a crossing guard. Anacostia, as you can guess, it is on the Anacostia River. Here in Anacostia, which according to the internet is one of the most dangerous areas of Washington, D.C. But again, I mean, look around. Not only does it look not that bad, but there is no National Guard. It says this area is subject of an active insurance loss investigation. So someone might have burned this down for some insurance money. They got it good too. We thought we'd come to like Southeast and Northeast, and
You would think you'd see a lot
think
more
the National Guard.
I know, I was saying the same thing. This is the ward that has so much crime, but you don't even see their presence here. No, they're downtown.
Man, bro, I thought you was a real person, bro. His name's so straight.
I just saw them.
Oh, you just met too? Yeah. Okay, I love that, see? They talking about it's crime, it's networking going on. Exactly, that's what it says.
I'm not sure if you guys can see that in the distance, but we're about half a mile from the Capitol building, just on the other side of the river. We're here on the wharf. It's one of the highest crime, seediest areas in all of Washington, D.C. This is the type of place where someone will pull a knife on you. Someone will pull a gun on you. This is a boat most likely belonging to Pablo Escobar or the New York financier Jeffrey Epstein, perhaps. This is not an area where you would ever bring your family and friends under almost any circumstance. And the National Guard, we don't know where they are. We just see videos online of them tackling Hispanic DoorDash drivers.
DC police officer questioned a driver on the National Mall. The DC police officer opened the door and the driver got out. He appeared to try to escape, and that's when several masked agents tackled him to the ground.
The National Guard is here to protect the community kickball game and make sure that no one messes with these guys and gives them a wedgie. Here is an open air pit where people are burning their drugs. They're doing fentanyl. Guys, I think we might be currently in pursuit of two National Guards. We've got two unmarked black vans tailing each other, Virginia plates, you know what that means. Let's see what they're up to. So our closest encounter with maybe the National Guard in 8 hours of driving around today were some unmarked black vans going onto a naval base. Look at this, what is it? That's kind of sketchy, isn't it? That's ICE. We're in Northeast DC right now, about to go through a checkpoint that the National Guard and the DC police have set up. Hello. Have a great vacation, guys. We pulled over to watch the checkpoint, and over the course of about an hour and a half, we watched people get pulled over for having too much tints or for not having front license plates. The DC police seemed to be directed by masked federal agents while they pulled cars over, and we heard on their walkie-talkies that they were under a quota where each officer had to pull over at least 6 cars. So over the course of an hour and a half, we watched about 50 cars get pulled over.
What's going on?
Checkpoint. Yes. They just sent us up. They're pulling people over for not having a front license plate or having their windows tinted. What do you think about that?
That's bullshit. This is obscene.
And we saw 3 arrests. We don't know what for, but one of them was definitely for driving a motorcycle without any license plates. There has definitely been an increase in arrests since the National Guard came in, and a good deal of them are for minor things like smoking weed in public or public intoxication.
Quit your fucking job! Quit your jobs! What the fuck are you doing? Quit your job! This isn't helping anyone!
There's a lot of coded language, they're saying to clean up the city, clean up the crime. Crime's down 30%, and they're clearly not, going into every corner of the city. They're being very specific, and they're finding pretexts like, these traffic stops to further harass, all kinds of people. It's performative with a serious impact.
We're here in Ward 3, Washington, D.C. It is considered one of the safest parts of the city. It borders along Georgetown, and the National Guard has made the least arrests in this area. It is a place so safe that even Hillary Clinton could eat a cheese sandwich right here out in the public. The National Guard is probably not going to be cracking any skulls outside of the Playa Bowl, so we're going to keep it moving. Right as we're driving through, this guy just got T-boned at an intersection. It's raining and he had a red light, but I guess he wasn't paying attention. All right, we're just 2 blocks away from where we saw that guy got hit at an intersection, and we are right next to the place where Big Balls got hit and an attempted carjacking. Let's go check out where Big Balls almost got carjacked and see if there's any National Guard people around. All right, we are on the 1400 block of Swan Street in the Logan Circle neighborhood. Yeah, walking around this neighborhood, it is hard to believe that this is the spot where a guy almost got carjacked, where supposedly Big Balls was approached by a group of 10 teenagers who told him, "Give me that car." And he said, "Nah, man, I'm not gonna give you that car." This is definitely not carjacking country. Here at the U Street Metro Station, where we were talking to one of the workers, and he said that he heard the National Guard will be here until November 2025. Right now, there's no National Guard anywhere around the U Street neighborhood. It's Ward 4, Petworth. This is the most Hispanic ward in the city. At this restaurant over here, they were saying at night, ICE has been highly active in this neighborhood, really targeting a lot of the bars and restaurants, coming in through the back alleys, wearing masks. So we'll take a walk around the neighborhood and see what it's like in Ward 4 of Washington, D.C. See, here is a newspaper stand for the Washington Hispanic, and it looks like it's right now being used as a trash can. These are the sorts of things that need to be cleaned up in Ward 4. There is most likely human shit.
No, it's not. The people, they can't live their life. We can't live our life. We feel like we're slaves. Not just us as black people, just everybody. It's not just black people. Everybody feels like slaves. We can't do nothing. We can't stand outside. We can't do our normal life because we got police pulling up on us. Oh, you can't do this, checking your cars. You don't have the cause to check my car. You doing all this for what? When you got have other crimes to fight. Go find missing kids.
Do you feel safe around here?
No. No, I don't. No. I feel like the officers, they supposed to make us feel safe. They don't make us feel safe.
West of the river in downtown DC, you definitely see a lot of people getting active, who are protesting, who are putting up all sorts of flyers, letting people know if federal agents were here, if ICE agents were here. And all throughout the city now, you are seeing closed down bars and restaurants like this, especially. This industry thrived on a lot of government jobs, and since so many of them have been cut, DC is really starting to feel the pain.
I'm 59 today.
Nice.
I'm getting old. I used to dunk on motherfuckers a long time ago.
Oh man, so wait, so tell us where you play basketball.
American University. I'm originally from San Francisco, California, from the Bay Area. I came here in 1986 on a scholarship. I ended up being homeless for 20 years. I just recently got my life together, got custody of my daughter. So I'm a speaker for homeless people now.
What has the National Guard done with the homeless?
Scare them. He talking about if you don't want to live in a shelter, he'll lock you up. Some people just rather be on the streets in America. You know, you can't force nobody to go in. You don't know what they're dealing with mentally, physically, or spiritually.
And where have the homeless went since the National Guard came in and cleared all the camps?
They ain't cleared nothing. Some of them are stubborn and still laying where they need. Some of them are actually going inside shelters. So.
Like what has changed?
Nothing. Literally, not mine.
What message would you have with the people who might be watching this?
Get your life together. Get your weight up, not your hate up. Believe in yourself. In spite of whatever you're going through, you can overcome it.
Where are we? What's going on?
We're in Washington, D.C. right now on 14th Street.
What have you seen change in the city since the National Guard came?
Absolutely nothing. I got the same birthday as Donald Trump. I represent Flag Day. If my birthday's on June 14th, I'm on 14th Street. Rapping hard just like I always do.
What would you do as president?
I would change my country. I would stop the wars. I would make sure everybody's fed. I would make sure everybody was happy.
Right on, brother.
About the homeless. We out here, we're trying to make it. We're trying to stay on our feet to live another day. Everybody needs help on this planet. I don't care who you are. Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Jeffrey Daniels, Elon Musk, they didn't get all their money by themselves. They had a team to help them get what they got. And the team they had was very good. But look, Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. Man, why not take some of that money and build a building to take the home people and say, he gonna pay for y'all to stay. Elon Musk, if you're watching, I want you to hear this. We need help out here. We are dying, man. I swear to God, we are dying.
What has happened since the National Guard has come into the city?
Well, they taking us places, man. They took my friend out of Fairfax and left him. They gave him $40 and left him out there at 2 o'clock in the morning. They scared him to death, man. He was scared. They had me down on Spring Road, down there with a gun to my head. I said, I'm not afraid to die. I'm not ready to go yet. Nobody lives forever. I lost my son. He died in my arms. You hear me, man? He died in my arms. He got shot over Southeast Alabama and good over the BP gas station. Doctor come out, hold his head down to me. He didn't make it. Look, I was in the emergency room holding my dead son for 30 minutes talking to my son.
Bringing the National Guard in is not the first time that we've used military against our own people. So when it boils down to the military walking our streets in our city, in this capital, it's a simple fact, it's a fear thing. Seeing the National Guard walk around the National Mall, walking around, Noma, Gallaudet, and places that's really not crime driven, and saying that they're pushing out crime, only thing they're doing is making people more distrusting of the military, more distrusting of our policing, and more distrusting of our government and the people that are meant to protect us.
Ward 5, Washington, D.C. This neighborhood is home to Catholic University, one of the largest religious schools in the country. This neighborhood is mostly single-family homes. It has a kind of close-knit, neighborly feel.
Myself, I never worry, especially in this area or any area. I'm not a person that even locks my doors. But I don't feel things are that bad, especially around this Brooklyn area.
You think they've been doing a good job, the National Guard and ICE in Washington, D.C.?
Oh, excellent. I mean, they're just so good. They're so well trained. They're also like angels. People see them, good people see them, they feel safe.
So we're here in Brooklyn, Catholic University. I feel safe. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't like it. I think it's somewhat destructive to the community, you know, especially in the way that it's executed.
Have you noticed any major changes since the National Guard or ICE came in?
I mean, for one, people are generally a lot more afraid in some ways. You have to recognize that you're replacing one fear with another, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, people are afraid of the National Guard right now. People have turned D.C. into a place of fear, and that's not how a city should feel, you know what I'm saying? Especially when there's kind of no real reason. D.C.'s no worse than any other city.
And have you seen any National Guard or ICE agents around here?
No.
Is this a safe neighborhood?
Pretty much.
Do you feel safe in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah.
Do you have a message for people who might be watching this and seeing the National Guard come to Washington, D.C.?
I don't think it's a right thing to do. Instead of having the National Guard come in and put mulch around trees, they should stay home in their own states and tend to their own crime problems.
We are here at Union Station. This is the busiest train station in D.C., and ever since the takeover began, the National Guard has had a pretty constant presence here. It is a main hub for tourists coming into the city because this is where Amtrak comes into. It's also been a hub for homeless people to kind of hang out, like in other big cities at train stations. But there have been homeless encampments right out here on the lawn of Union Station. That has since been cleared, but you can still see homeless people kind of wandering around the neighborhood, wandering around the train station. Right now, you know, less than a mile from the Capitol, multiple organizations exercising their First Amendment rights.
We're at Union Station right now. I'm part of a group called Remember Your Oath. Our whole goal here is to protest the occupation of D.C. by the National Guard, and to also remind guardsmen that they took an oath to a constitution, that if an illegal order were to come up, they have not just a moral responsibility but a legal obligation. It's not right, it's not legal to use our military against U.S. citizens.
Hey, Mayor. Fucking resist or resign. You should have never bent the fucking knee. I don't give a fuck what he said he was gonna do. The moment you let them destroy Black Lives Matter Plaza, he owns you now. He's gonna continue to make you do worse things. How can you not even speak out against it? I understand, if they're gonna replace him, then let them replace you. But at least stand on the right side of history.
We've heard that Pete Hegseth has ordered that anyone who's made comments about Charlie Kirk, that we seek those folks out and we are punishing those folks. My advice to those service members who might be targeted in that action would be to refuse a non-judicial punishment, force a court-martial, make them take you to court.
Let us be your voice. You're in an impossible fucking situation. But if you ever cared about this country, if you ever believed in your oath, hold the fucking line. Salute the flag, tell them yes, sir, but when you get out here in the field, slow that shit down. Keep your weapons pointed down. Don't let them pull you into doing illegal actions like what the fucking Navy did to these Venezuelans. Understand, if you kill people, if you do this, you can be recalled at any time. Long after that felon is out the White House, they can recall you back to active duty and court-martial you for war crimes. Do not let them strip your honor. We will be your voice. If you got frustrations, reach out to us. There's a hotline behind us. That number is 877-447-4487. We will be your advocates.
I'm a retired disabled combat veteran, served a little over 20 years in the U.S. Army, was in Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Bosnia. When President Trump signed an executive order on the 25th of August, trying to outlaw the burning of the flag, that evening I went and burned the American flag in front of the White House.
New video into our newsroom shows an Army veteran being taken into custody after he torched an American flag outside the White House.
I tell you, until the 25th, I never had a reason to burn the flag. I never thought I would. But I always knew that I took an oath, and that oath was the Constitution to uphold and defend against enemies both foreign and domestic, and that part of that is defending the right for people for free speech. Yeah, Union Station at night is awesome.
Yeah.
These demons are coming for the entire American experiment now. I've deployed 5 times in defense of this nation. I was in Cuba in 95, Bosnia in 96, Kosovo in 99, Iraq 08, Afghanistan 2013. I've seen what happens when you don't have a democracy.
Now we're on the National Mall, probably the most awe-inspiring place in Washington, D.C., because we've got the monuments, we've got the Capitol, but we also have things that are always popping up along this mall, like this prayer tent over here, where people are practicing their First Amendment to preach. At all hours of the night, you have people here, mostly tourists, just coming by to take in the awesomeness, and it's probably the most awe-inspiring place, in my opinion, in Washington, D.C. The National Mall is really a place you can go in and reflect on what it means to be an American.
We should fight for togetherness. We should fight for better wages. We should fight for a better cost of living. We should fight for those things. We should fight for better health care. We should fight for the homeless that's out here, that with the mental challenges that they're going through. We should fight for those reasons. We should fight for the fact that we got kids able to get ghost guns and take them to school, put them on school buses. We should fight for the fact that we got neighborhoods and blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks of neighborhoods that's dilapidated. These are the things that our ancestors fought for. The freedom to pursue our life and happiness, the freedom to practice whatever religion that we want to practice, the freedom to gather. Like, we have to come together. Like, the time is absolutely now.